WF2U testing, Whiskey Foxtrot 2 uniform. WF2U. WF2U testing, Whiskey Foxtrot 2 uniform. WF2U.
CQ, calling CQ, the old friends net. This is N4LQ, November 4, Lima, Quebec, and Shelby, North Carolina. The name is Steve. The net is the old friends net. The net is an AM amplitude modulation only net. We meet here every night at 8 p.m. and we take a list of check-ins and we start a round table. So let's go ahead and start. Call N4LQ now, please.
WF2U, Whiskey Foxtrot 2 uniform.
Night at 8 p.m. and we take a list of check-ins and we start a round table. So let's go ahead and start. Call N4LQ. Okay, I got Mir, but you're breaking up pretty bad. When you first came on testing a while ago, you sounded really loud and beautiful, and now all of a sudden you're cracking up. It kind of reminds me the other day, you must be on the DX160 with that bad mic connection or something, I guess. The same way it was. You want to try again, Mir?
Yeah, this is WF2U. Watching the modulation, it's normal. That's the DX100B. How do you copy?
Yep, took some severe fading there, but now you're steady, but you were breaking up, so I don't know what's going on. Something may be loose. But anyway, let's go ahead and get some more check-ins. N4LQ. This is N4LQ, the old friends net, 160 on 1864 kilocycles. Listening for any check-ins, call N4LQ now.
W4JPL.
Hello, John, W4JPL. Hang on just a minute. Let's see if anybody else comes in. All right. Well, hopefully Mir can get that thing going. It's got a lot of potential. The audio was beautiful when you first came on, so I think it's probably just a loose mic connection. It's what it acts like anyway. Let's go ahead and make a transmission and then turn it over to W4JPL John. WF2U, N4LQ. no way to stop him once he gets started.
He's not saying anything.
And it's just kind of a mushy sound. Hang on a second. He'll wear out in a minute. Yeah, Mir, the N4LQ, there was no intelligible audio. It was just, I could tell it was your voice, that's about it, but it was just all muffled and breaking up and just pure distortion and weak. So, pretty good combination of problems there. So, I don't know what's going on with it, but that's what I heard. So, there you go. I hope you can get it fixed. Maybe try a microphone of some other kind there. Go ahead, John, W4JPL, N4LQ.
All right, N4LQ in the group, W4JPL. Sorry, again, I could tell it's Mir, but it sounds like he's talking through a kazoo or something. I can't understand a word he's saying. Call a priest. Drowned it or something. Sorry about that. It is cold here. Oh, just looking at the temperature. Waiting for it to cycle around 24 degrees. It's cold out. Real busy day today, as usual. And actually fell asleep about an hour ago, and Maggie come walking in the room. I looked out where I texted and jumped up out of the bed. So now I'm awake for a while anyway. I haven't slept well in about 3 or 4 days, so I'm finally getting some sleep. And that's a good thing. M4LQ, W4JPL.
Okay, W4JPL, N4LQ. Well, Mir, John said the same thing. He could not. He said you sound like you're talking through a kazoo, which, yeah, that's a good example of it, I guess. Well, I'm glad you're getting some sleep. It seems like you told me, John, that you were having trouble with that. Gosh, it's been a week ago or so, I think. And they were going to give you something. Did they give you some kind of pill to take for that?
No, I don't want to take any more pills I already take. I'm only on a couple, one for my stomach and one to keep my cholesterol down a little bit. That's enough medication, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I guess sooner or later you got to fall asleep. All right, well, that's great. Let's see who else is here. Somebody is bound to be lurking in the shadows. N4LQ, go ahead.
Well, I guess there's nobody around tonight so far, W4JPL. I'm just going through my computer here, getting rid of old, what is this? Get off there. Just taking a look at what I got on my computer hard drive here. I found a file that was a ticket to the Ark Encounter. I went there a couple years ago. What an interesting experience that was. N4LQ, W4JPL.
Roger, Roger. All right, you're coming through pretty good. Yeah, I saw Mir's carrier there, but there wasn't any modulation. So, clean the computer. That's, I do that every now and then. Somehow I managed to lose passwords out of it. My automatic stored passwords disappear. I'm not sure why. I guess it's something that stores them in. But anyway, I just have to re-log in again, and it stores them again. Ark Encounter, I have not seen the Ark. We were up there, oh gosh, I think the whole family went up there. We used to live in LaGrange, Kentucky, which was really just down the road from that on I-71, and that goes right by there, 71 does, up to Cincinnati. And back then it was Creation Museum, which is still there, I'm sure, but that's all there was. They had not started on the Ark. The Creation Museum was okay. That's pretty good. The guy that runs that thing, Ken, whatever his name is, he's an Australian guy, and I've got a bunch of his books I've read, and so he's been around to the churches a lot. Pretty interesting stuff. Anyway, who else? I know somebody else is wanting to check in. This is N4LQ. Go ahead. I thought maybe I heard a big carrier there. I thought somebody else would come in. I talked to, of course, last night, Cliff said he was going to stay in, but not go out to the barn because it was too cold. And I guess he can't load up his indoor rig in the house. Too bad. Brandon has been in and out all day, and I figured he'd be here tonight using his Ranger or something. So we'll keep an ear out for him. But I'm still on the AF-67, and it's behaving itself. The in-fed half-wave antenna. Got the Valiant sitting here waiting in the wings on standby just in case. And I assume you're on your ICOM there, John. So one more standby before we go back for another round, as it were. This is N4LQ. Mir, I think that's you. It's not intelligible, but I can tell it's you. That's about it.
Okay, the problem is obviously with the DX100.
You said the problem's with the DX100. Yeah. Well, that's too bad. Maybe I'm not sure what to think. That's pretty interesting. But you were a little better that time. I don't know. Maybe you need to hit it harder or something. Give it a good whack on the lid. No, it's no better. It's just pure distortion. I mean, I can see the modulation on the spectrum going up and down, but man, I don't know. That's really rough. So anyhow, maybe you can get your little marine thing out there for a while. Okay, I'm not sure what you said, but anyway, John, so anyway, that's what I was going to say about the Ark Encounter. They hadn't started on that when we moved down south here, and I'm sure we won't be up there again. The XYL just does not travel very good, and I haven't been doing all that good myself. I'm better with this leg problem. It's kind of calmed down a little bit, but her back is just couldn't take it, so I doubt if we'll be up there. So all I can do is read about it in the original. W4JPL, N4LQ.
N4LQ, W4JPL. Mayor, I'm so sorry you're having problems with that. Hope you can get that straightened out and figure out what the deal is with that. As far as the Ark Encounter is concerned, my church was, you know, my wife's phone's ringing. She's not answering. Let me go see what's going on. I'll be right back in a minute or two. W4JPL.
All right, we'll take a standby, see if anybody else wants to check in. This N4LQ. The N4LQ, the old friends 160 net. Do we have any more check-ins?
W4JPL.
Okay. All right. Is everything okay?
Yeah, her son kept calling over and over. I thought maybe he's in trouble or something. He's just trying to get a hold of his mother, Maggie's son. So I had to go all the way to the other end of the house, and she was in her little she shed with the music blaring. She didn't hear nothing, so she'll call him back.
Roger, Roger. Okay. Well, anyway, I guess you're on the ICOM again tonight, and where's Tony? Is he going to check in, I wonder, and wonder how his XYL is doing?
I was with him today for a little while, and Marianne seems to be doing okay. She came out to the door and stepped outside and said hello, and then went back in. I guess she's feeling okay. Not so bad. What I was going to tell you about the Ark Encounter was, I'm going to turn his power back a little bit. There you go. The Ark Encounter, my church was planning a trip to that, and it never happened, so I decided let's go check it out. Which we did. And it's an impressive structure, very well laid out. It's maybe worth going to see one time, but I consider myself to be a pretty good Christian, but they lost me when they had a thing in there saying they had dinosaurs on the Ark. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So, and the other thing that blew my mind was they said that the whole planet went from Pangea to where the continents are today in 1 year. I'm like, okay. So I took a bunch of pictures. I documented it really well. I still have a book somewhere, and I printed it all out and took it to the church, and everybody took turns looking at it. And I think they all pretty much came to the same conclusion I was. You know, it's worth going to see once. It's an impressive thing. Just gotta try to keep an open mind about the thing. And like you, we don't travel very well anymore. We went to Philadelphia last week, and they'd like to kill me. N4LQ, W4JPL.
Roger, Roger. Anybody else want to check in before we go on?
Yeah, this is WF2. Do you copy?
Oh, yeah. Now we hear you. Back on the, the Kenwood now?
Yeah, the Kenwood.
All right. Well, right now you sound real good. Keep it up. Go ahead and make a transmission.
Yeah, okay, N4LQ, this is WF2. Yeah, back to the Kenwood 3KM 707. About 100 watt peak modulation, upper sideband with full carrier. Anyway, with the Radio Shack mic that came with this. Anyway, the second mic was the Turner, because I thought that maybe the preamp on the D104 is picking up some RF and it's oscillating. And then I plugged in the microphone that I usually use with the AF67, the Turner desk mic, and it was the same. And obviously, so the problem is must be in the audio stage, the DX100. So it's interesting because I watched the modulation, the modulator card, and also the peak reading meter, and it looked like there is like normal modulation, but of course if it's distorted I can't see it on those meters. All I saw is that it's not taking off, and when I'm not speaking then there is no modulation, it's only the idle current of the modulator. So it must be something going on with the audio stages in the DX100B. That means that tomorrow probably I'll have the same problem on 80 meters, and hopefully the conditions are going to be good. So I'm going to use the AF67 and the PMR7. But you sounded really great on the MC300 with the original national speaker that goes with it. I mean, it really sounded good. And John is relatively weak, even on that receiver, which sounds much better than the Kenwood business speaker, but it's not bad either. But somehow I could. I heard a little bit less noise for some reason. Oh yeah, on this one I can turn down the RF gate, the MC300, when it's a little bit, somebody's a little bit weak, I just turn it down just a little bit and increase the audio, and I usually get enough margin to copy better. Anyway, so back to you, and for a QWC, oh yeah, it goes to John. You know what, I'll return it back to you so we can check it, the N40QWFC.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. John, are you able to copy mirror?
Okay, N40Q in the group W4JPL. Yes, I can. What I got to do in order to copy him is I've got to switch over to upper sideband because his signal's there, but he's getting wiped out by that broadcast guy. Apparently he's running one sideband because there's nothing on lower sideband, but if I switch over to upper sideband, I can hear him fine. Also been doing some work on this NC303 I have, and it's cleaning up very nicely. I didn't do a lot to it today, but it's cleaning up. I did put fire to it, and it fired up, and a little bit of a hum, so I got to recap it. And once I recap that, I should have a good functioning receiver. The project after that will be to paint the top part of the cabinet because it's pretty ugly and dingy and nasty looking. So I'll get it one foot in front of the other and amongst all the other projects. WF2U, hopefully you can hear me, W4JPL.
All right.
John, you're sometimes fading a little bit down almost to the noise level, but I can copy you. Yeah, well, sorry you have to switch, but I have no option on this one to switch sidebands. Also, the next few days I'm going to reactivate my big console on my big rack station, the Technical Material Corporation, the TMC. The 350 watt amplifier is driven by an independent sideband generator, or actually multimode. I can do RTTY with it too. It's a completely multimode exciter. It has a master oscillator and some other units in the rack, and I also have an AM exciter that puts out something up to 1 watt of AM, and that drives the amplifier to, well, I do like about 120 watt carrier, and that would be just about the top of the 350 watt PEP. So I don't even go up that way because it can usually trip out. Just as it gets to 350 watt, the plate current that gives me 350 watts, it trips out exactly at that point. So I keep it way under. I use that setup. And the receiver in the rack is a GPR90 rack mount with a crystal with a 10-position crystal option. I used it a lot on the old transnet until I started to use the Yaesu, and I was going back and forth between the Yaesu and the TMC for a while. Anyway, that was long enough. So back to you, Steve. And for a few WSU.
Okay, very good. And I got Tony in there. Welcome, Tony, K4QE. Yeah, looking forward to the Old Friends Net tomorrow at 4 p.m., 3715. Yeah, sorry about the confusion about the dinosaurs there, John, and I don't know everything there is to know, but what happens is sometimes people try to justify or explain creation by mixing it with evolution, and you kind of get into trouble there. And when God created the heavens and the earth, He did it, and they were in a certain form when He got done. And what was there was created as it is, or as it was. They find, fossils, and these fossils are, in millions of tons of rocks. Who is to say that fossil was ever a live animal? It could have been just created that way. That's the way I figured. They carbon date things, but how do you carbon date something that was created? If they found something that the carbon date was 0, I guess they never will find something like that. But who's to say that when God created the earth, He just didn't put some dinosaur bones in there to sort of give people something to study? I don't know. That's the way I figured. And as far as Noah taking them all on the ark, nobody mentioned dinosaurs in the Bible at all. And it would have been probably a little too big to take. I know he only had to take 2 of them, or 2 little ones with him, which he could have done, and they may not have lasted long. He may have died off after they landed, who knows. But I don't worry about that too much. Anyhow, Tony, hope you're okay in the XYL, K4QE, N4LQ.
All right. Good evening, Steve. Good evening, Mayor, and good evening, John. And things are well here in the Scandora household. Trying to keep warm. Bitterly cold. I had my astronomy meeting last night, and we had a lower than usual attendance thanks to the weather. At least that's what we get. I know there were a couple guys who were sick. They stayed home, thank goodness. But it was a good meeting. We had a couple new members join us, so that was always good. And we're looking forward to a good year this year. In fact, I volunteered for a couple of things to do in the club, namely set up a Groups I/O group for the club, as well as possibly helping, either assisting or taking over the maintenance of the club's website. So we'll see how that goes. I'm still in talks with the president about it, the new president. So we shall see. Got up this morning, and the wife had a list of things for me to do, one of them being food shopping. So I went to the store and spent about an hour or so getting through the list that she created for me. So it was all good. We share the shopping duties here. Sometimes she does it all the time. Sometimes I do it all the time. Depends what kind of mood we're in. But today was my turn. So there you go. And it'll probably be that way for a while until she fully recovers from her surgery. She's not allowed to lift anything of any significant weight. So I'm not even sure she's allowed to drive right now. They didn't say that specifically when they released her. But they did give her some painkillers that you really shouldn't be driving under the influence of. So they didn't say she couldn't drive, but she's not. And there's no reason for her to do so. I can do whatever has to be done. So there you go. But other than that, I was upstairs helping my son out with he's taking some computer courses in college, and he needed some help on some operating system stuff that he had to do a presentation on. So I was upstairs helping him with that, and just got done and came on down here and to join the group. So glad to hear you guys are still on here. And I'll pass it back to you, Steve, because I don't know who comes after me, if there's anyone. Ed 4LQ in the group from K4QE.
All right, here's what we got. We've got me, and then Mir, WF2U, and then John, JPL, and then yourself, K4QE. So back up to me again. And let's see. What was the name of your club, Tony? I missed that.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question. What was that?
The name of your club.
Oh, the name of the club is the Greensboro Astronomy Club.
Okay, all right. Gazing at the stars. I got it. I didn't know if you were talking about a ham club or something else. Astronomy. I guess things are looking up. Anyway, let's see here. I will tell you all about one really, really strange thing that happened to me today, and the XYL. She got a hankering for Checkers French fries, and Checkers up north they call Checkers Rallies. Same company. Looks same theme, same menu and everything. Anyway, Checkers in Shelby, and we've been there a lot of times, and so she wanted to go there, so we went over there, went up to the speaker, and she came on the speaker. Can I help you? And I said, yeah, I want Big Buford. She said, but we only take orders through DoorDash and the app. I said, what? I was just like, what are you talking about? And she said, yes, we only take orders through the app. You can download the app on www.checkers, blah, 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 or you can call DoorDash or go to DoorDash.com or something like that. And I said, but I'm talking to you right here on the speaker, and you're in the building, right? Sorry, we do not take any orders on the speaker. I said, well, and my wife, Linda, said, yep, I've heard that is spreading around, and a lot of restaurants are starting to do that. They're not taking orders in person. You either get online and have it delivered through DoorDash, or you get on the app and order it and then go pick it up. I said, well, all right, see you later. So we went to Wendy's and got our hamburger, and so much for that deal. But I thought that's one of the strangest things I ever saw, ever since the pandemic. So there you go. Mir is on upper sideband AM, and I just switched my receiver over to USB, and that takes out all the garbage anyway, so I can listen. I'm just listening to everybody on upper sideband. Go ahead, Mir, WF2U, N4LQ.
Yeah, Roger, N4LQ, WF2U. Yeah, copied Tony. For some reason, both Tony and John are weaker than normal. I don't know why, but you're very strong. Might be just conditions, distance, whatever. Propagation. Anyway, yeah. So I have to monitor what's going on with the DX900P. Obviously, if it's behaving like that, it's not going to be a no-go for the old FritzNet. I might just go back for a change on the ASUS if I need a little high power. Otherwise, the AF67 would do if its conditions are decent enough. But I don't cherish the thought of starting to working on it. Although I took it out of the cabinet already when I changed that internal fuse, so I can turn it over and pull a scope there and start checking the audio stages, what's going on there, because obviously it's coming from there. So looks like all the three microphones are doing the same, so it's not the microphone that I tried with it. So regarding the order, I never heard of anybody just doing it through a third party. Especially, some places might do it, but then you can either walk in and eat there, or if they don't have an outside, window or something, like a regular restaurant. Let's say you want something to go, and you don't want to wait in there, then you can probably order it online. But it's a lot of nonsense unless they don't have the personnel to really process orders and talk in the window or something. I have no idea what's behind it. It doesn't make any sense to me, business-wise. But anyway, be confident in the restaurant. I would never set my foot or never even try to order from there. Anyway, so let's see. John, W4JPL, this is WFTU.
Okay.
You copying, John? Go ahead.
F2U in the group W4JPL. Yeah, I see that with checkers. Tony likes to order online. I don't. I guess I'm stuck in my ways. I know every time you go to McDonald's, they will say, will you be using your mobile app? I'm like, no, I want to talk to you. So to me, checkers is going to do nothing but hurt themselves, because not everybody has a cell phone and not everybody wants to be bothered ordering online. So, but it says here what percentage of food orders online? It said, online food ordering has grown 300% faster than dine-in since 2014 and now accounts for roughly 40% of total restaurant sales. That's crazy. However, I'm an old man, I'm stuck in my ways, and I ain't gonna change. And that's the way it is, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. K4QE, W4JPL.
Okay. Well, I do a lot of crap online, have been for years. I don't use cash either. I use credit card for everything. Except, obviously there are exceptions where I have to use cash in certain places, but I'm a credit card only kind of guy. I used to work for a credit card company, so there you go. And that did take a while for me to adjust to that. And getting my wife to make the jump was another hurdle I had to get her over, but she did, and now she does it. Yeah, I agree about Checkers. I don't know why they wouldn't take orders in person. That is a little nuts. I know that in McDonald's, I normally use the app because I usually go through the drive-through, but I went inside of McDonald's not long ago to order some food, and all there was the kiosk to order food from, and I didn't really have a problem with that, except that they're so huge that it's hard to read it because it's too big. It's like you're trying to take a mobile app and put it onto a screen that's as big as you are. I'm like, that's a little nuts. So I found that kind of annoying. But at least McDonald's will still take your order at the front cash register if you really insist on doing that. Unlike Checkers, which turned you away. That's crazy. And there's some places that are doing like a hybrid of what Checkers is doing. We ordered from Chipotle over here in Burlington for the very first time not long ago, a couple weeks ago. And there are certain items on their menu which are only available by ordering online. And one of them happened to be what my daughter wanted. So we ended up doing the whole order online. And it worked fine. I had no problem doing it. It's just that I just found it kind of odd that they would pick certain items on their menu that are orderable only online, whether it be in person, whether it be on your mobile app or whether you order it ahead of time on your computer at home. I just don't know. I don't see how that's a good way to do business either. I agree with John in that respect. That you have to be able to take things at a point of sale. It's just ridiculous. Even if you only have one person, that can man the register, is available to man the register if someone comes to order in person, that's fine. It's just one person, and they're not even doing it full time. So what's the big deal? I just don't get it. Perhaps they're afraid perhaps it's because they're trying to reduce the shrinkage of people giving away food that way illegally. There's a friend comes up to the store, and next thing you know, they're giving food away rather than them paying for it or whatever. If that's the kind of thing they're trying to stop, that's fine. But I can't imagine that's a huge percentage of their sales. I mean, really? Is that the reasoning? I don't get it. Oh, well, I'll get off that soapbox. Regarding the Greensboro Astronomy Club, we have a number of hams in the club. Some of them you may or may not know. N4CE, Paul, AC7N, Pascal, and Roger, W4AYO. They're all hams, and I think there's a couple other hams in the club that I haven't met yet, but we sometimes commiserate on ham radio stuff as well as astronomy, at least in not in the business meetings, but when the meeting is over or whatever. And a couple of the guys, they meet on a repeater on the north end of Greensboro, and I've gotten on with them in the morning sometimes. We usually get on on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And I've gotten on there in the mornings with them, and that's how I ended up joining the club, really. I knew the club existed, but I didn't know anybody who was in it. And I happened to have my 2-meter rig in scanning mode one morning, and I heard these two guys, and they were clearly talking about astronomy. And I later found out that they were members of the Greensboro Astronomy Club, and I ended up joining the club shortly after that. So it's a good time. They're a great bunch of guys and girls. We have a couple of women in the club, and they're all really, really nice. And I'm really enjoying myself. So there you go. Back over to you, Steve. N4LQ in the group from K4Q.
All right, Tony. K4QE in the group. N4LQ. I've often wondered if those stars are really there because they're many, many, many light years away. And it could be that they burned out a long time ago, and we're just seeing the leftover light that's coming this way. And once the light has reached its end point, we see nothing. Just something weird to think about. Anyway, what I don't understand with checkers is why is the speaker still there, number one. Number two is, why is there no sign? We didn't see a sign anywhere that said, go away and get your phone out and order it. They could easily have covered the thing up, you know. Why even have a menu out there? So why not just put cones across the drive-thru? I don't understand. I do place orders online for Firehouse subs because when you go there to order a sub, it takes too long anyway. So I get online with that, and also the Chinese joint up the street here. I go online and we order online and pay online for both places, and then just go pick it up. That works out just fine. So that, you know, the Pizza Hut, same way. Order online, go pick it up. I don't mind it if, but this has a speaker, you know, and nothing changed. So they should have put out a warning. So apparently, you guys, John must have seen something on their website that says no longer taking on-site orders. I guess if that's right, John, let me know, or I'll go and look myself. Well, another thing that's getting strange is doctors are buying up, or hospitals and bigger doctor organizations are buying up little ones. Like my doctor got bought by some outfit up in Chicago, and it's all messed up now. So my prescription has about run out on my pill. And so today I thought, well, I'll get online with the drugstore and look and see. And it says they turned it in to be refilled, but has not been approved yet. And that's unusual. This is a first. I thought, well, that's probably something to do with the new company taking over. So I called the number for the doctor. Yeah, I know it's Saturday, but took a chance. And, well, I got an answer. A human answered. And she acted like she was in the doctor's office, and I told her what I wanted. And she said, well, I'll call them Monday, and I'll fax that in, and they'll take care of it. And I said, oh, yeah, I bet they will. So we'll see how that works out. So far, nothing has. I mean, they're really messed up. I don't know. Maybe some of this has to do with collecting money or dealing with credit cards and money on site. If they centralize their credit card business and take the orders online from one point, then I think that reduces their visa fees. I guess, somehow. They probably worked out a deal with the credit card companies. And it makes it safer for the employees not to have cash on hand. So that's one way we can go to a cashless society, is to force everybody to buy stuff online with credit cards, I suppose. Okay, Mayor. Well, see you tomorrow on the AF-67 and the ASU. Either one's fine. I predict good band conditions. It's going to be sunny with no static, and we'll be just fine. Over to you, WF2U, N4LQ.
Yeah, N4LQ, WF2U. Yeah, very good. I had problems hearing John. I was going in and out with very heavy QSB, sometimes up, sometimes down to the noise. That's not that great, but what can I do? It's conditions. Just as businesses say, it's location. Well, in ham life, it's not only location, and that is but conditions as well. But anyway, so what did I want to say? Oh yeah, it's getting really chilly here. When I came out to the shack, it was 15 degrees. I'm looking at it, went up 3 degrees, but it's really funny because the whole day it was going up and down. I saw one for a while 17 degrees, like around 4 o'clock, and then I'm looking at the digital weather station thermometer like in the house. All of a sudden it's 21. And then an hour later, so I don't know if it's like really bands of wind that have different temperatures, because we also had wind gusts up to 19 miles an hour, and it was a little bit breezy. So I wonder if that the weather station's temperature sensor might be affected by various air streams, and it just responds immediately. So, because I can also look at the statistics for 24 hours, the previous 24 hours, and then I can see the whole graph, how the temperature changed, and also everything else, like pressure, wind direction, wind speed, and all that. So, anyway, yeah, the AF-67, after all, I used it several times, and conditions were good, so my signal was okay. And it's also time to get back my ART-13 and BC-348 set up. All I have to do is just do the interconnections. I have the cable all rolled up, and I have the dynamotor in a different place. That's actually, so I used to have the ART-13 here. And then I moved it to another shelf. So I have to pick up the dynamotor from here and put it under the ART. Anyway, so let's see. W4JPL. Hope you copy me. This is WF2U.
Okay, WF2U in the group W4JPL. Alright, Mir, you're fading in and out a little bit, but I'm getting most of what you're saying there. I imagine I'm doing the same thing to you. So, yeah, as far as McDonald's is concerned, I go inside and I just stand there and somebody will come and wait on me. That's not a problem. And I read a study that they were claiming that they were testing those big screens in McDonald's, I guess in other restaurants as well, testing the screens for fecal matter, and they're finding fecal matter on those screens. So I guess people are picking their nose or picking their butt and pushing on that screen. So I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to do that. So, but Tony will be very relieved to know that I'm now using a credit card. It's against my better judgment, but I told the bank wanted me to do it after that last faux pas I had, and I said, okay, I'll try it. So I've been doing it and paying it off every week. And they said, well, there's no interest or anything for a year or something. I said, no, I'm getting in the habit, I'm going to pay that thing off. So, Tony, you happy? K4QE, W4JPL.
Yeah, I don't know who told you there's nothing for a year, but that's crap. You got to pay it off every month. And that's what I do. My credit card bill gets, at the day after the month ends for whatever my thing is, I pay it off the day after. So there you go. No interest. I have never paid a dime of interest in years. So it's all good. And you get the protection of the credit card company behind your purchases, which has saved my bacon a couple times. I love my old company. The company I used to work for, they just do a fabulous job. I would never deal with any other credit card company. I have a credit card through my local bank, which is Truist, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with, the former BB&T. And I had an issue with my card with them, and it took them days to do what it took Chase 1 hour to do. It's not even an hour. So I wouldn't even think of going with another credit card company. But anyway, that's a whole other discussion. I'm glad to hear you've done it, John. I think you're going to find yourself in a much better place. It also protects your debit cards. There's a element of danger with debit cards. I do not like debit cards. In some places you got to use them, but there are things about debit cards that are not good. Like, for instance, when you make a gasoline purchase, it automatically locks $100 in your account to the debit card for the purchase, even if you don't use the full $100. It'll eventually get unlocked, but it takes a day or two for that to happen. And the other thing is you don't get the protection for your purchases like you do with a credit card. And there's another element to it. So if someone gets your debit card number and they use your debit card to, they purchase something and enter your account that's a link to the debit card, that money's gone. There's no protection. With a credit card, your liability is limited to $50 by federal law. So there's I don't even know why debit cards exist. I just don't get it. They're more of a liability than an asset. So there you go. That's my opinion. Some of it's fact, but there you go. Over to you, Steve, N4LQ from K4QE.
Okay, Tony. Is there anybody else that would like to check in before we wrap things up for the night? I don't hear anybody. This is N4LQ. Well, yes, I totally agree on debit cards. I have never, ever had one. The bank gave us one when we signed up with them, and I took a pair of scissors and chopped it up. They are too dangerous. And the problem is, if anything goes wrong, or if you just get stupid, and you can overdraft, and real easy, because it's money. I mean, once somebody hacks that, it's gone. There's no recourse. The bank won't stand behind it. It becomes an FBI matter or something like that. So credit cards are the safest transaction. Probably less likely to get hacked than counterfeit cash would be. That's people still counterfeit, you know. So that's a danger with cash. So I like the credit card. Okay, I've never really had a problem. One time we ate in a restaurant, and as we left, I got notified by the credit card company on the phone that somebody had charged flowers at some florist, and that was after we left the restaurant. And I said, well, what's going on? So of course we got it straightened out, but apparently the waitress when they took our card back to ring it up had used it to order some flowers. Gosh, what a mess. But it got fixed real quick, and I would say somebody got in big trouble for it. As far as McDonald's and fecal matter on the those signs, I can't stand those things. I tried to use one of those kiosks at McDonald's a couple of years ago, and it didn't work. And I bet I spent 5 minutes standing around there poking at it, and finally gave up and went up to the cashier, and I said, I can't get that thing to work. He said, oh yeah, that thing hasn't never worked. Well, why don't you tell people about it? Oh man. So but fecal matter's everywhere. You got to realize they just check the sign. If they check the doorknob or the counter or whatever, that stuff's everywhere. It's good for you. It keeps the immune system all tuned up. I guess that's about all I've got tonight. I think this will be my last round. I'll just turn it to Mayor to wrap up for his final. Just pass it around for a 73 round here. WF2U, N4LQ.
Yeah, very good, Steve. Actually, your signal is went up, and towards the end, Tony's signal went up a little bit, and but I had problems. It's very few times that I have problems stopping John and or Tony, but not tonight. The ambient noise is really not that bad at all. So I don't know. It just must be just weird conditions. So yeah, it's about time to go out. Let the show start for like 10 minutes. Put their post on with their cape face. Going to go out from the nice warm house. And the two old ones definitely are getting cold, although they don't seem to be suffering any more than the others. But after all, they're both into their 16th year, all past 15, and so we keep them comfy. Otherwise they're okay. 73-old, thanks Steve for running the net, and sorry about the DX100 audio. Listen to your recording and try to take some time to troubleshoot it. I already have my solid state, old solid state book ready, which is easier to carry, and my audio generator is ready, and so see what's happening. So 73 goal, have a good night, and keep warm. W4JPL, this is WF2U, 73 all.
Alright, WF2U and the group W4JPL. Yeah, it's after 9 o'clock, it is pumpkin time. So I'm going to get out of here myself. I hope everybody has a great, wonderful evening. God bless, and carry on with it. K4QE, W4JPL.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. Whoops.
AM, son, AM.
All right. Well, good night, everyone. Glad I was able to make it before everyone left, and good to hear everyone on this extremely cold weekend. I have to work tomorrow. Lucky me. So something I have to do once a quarter. But it's third weekend maintenance, so I'll be spending most of tomorrow doing that. Start at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So everyone, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll be talking to you tomorrow night, I hope. This is K4QE. Good night.
Okay, guys. Thanks a lot for checking in tonight. And don't forget the net tomorrow at 4 p.m. And I will say thanks to Cuneo in Tokyo and Gone Bamboo in Indonesia for listening in on us tonight on YouTube. 73, see you later. This is N4LQ closing the Old Friends Net.